People on social media will say education is the key to success, but the padlock has been changed. Actually, sometimes I find the statement so funny, but of course it could be funny, but it also calls for meditation. Ever since this lockdown had started, I've been so curious to know how private school teachers have been feeding. Hi guys, welcome to another amazing episode of Gossip Field with Ola. Actually, today's episode it's basically about the updates on the reopening of schools in Nigeria. Actually, Nigeria is reducing lockdown restrictions as the federal government are giving conditions for the opening of schools in Nigeria. When we were young, I can't imagine the energy and pressure our parents put on education because they believe without education there is no way to success. Lately, people have been having reverse about that mindset. I think that is what prompted people to start saying this on social media, that education is the key to success, but the padlock has been changed. In Nigeria, we believe we have two types of schools. We have government-owned school, which we refer to as public school, and we have private-owned school, which belongs to an individual. Growing up in Nigeria, we believe government-owned schools are for less privilege for the poor, while the private-owned schools are for the wealthy people. From there, societal class differences set in. Although there are a lot of things that make these differences obvious. As a child, growing up in Nigeria, if you are asked which school would you prefer to be registered in, no child will ever want to be registered in a government-owned school due to obvious factors. Ever since the lockdown, one of the things that have been getting me curious is how had private school teachers been feeding. It is generally believed that in private schools, when there is no service, there is no payment. Now, on the update of reopening of schools in Nigeria, the federal government have made it known that before schools can be open, there must be some certain things that must be in place. Firstly, there must be hand wash facility in every school. There must be body disinfectant like hand sanitizer. It must be available at the school entrance, hostel, classes, and offices. The school authority must make sure they maintain high level of hygiene. There must be physical and social distancing in classes and meeting spaces. This part of social distancing got me the most because most schools in Nigeria don't have large classrooms. Before school eventually opened in Nigeria, there are a lot of things that need to be put in place. The environment at which students want to be receiving classes should be made conducive. There should be certain numbers of students or pupils per class, and there should be provision of ventilated classrooms. And parents should also endeavor to put sanitizer in their children's bag. Teachers are to monitor the pupils and the students in schools. And the government should also endeavor to fund the educational system in Nigeria to provide the instructional materials, the teaching aids. Amazingly, the Nigeria Police Force has been doing a lot of great job on rape cases in Nigeria. After the report of a 4-year-old girl who was raped at school,
what happened for school?
We ride my leg. We cover my mouth. Tell me to shut up. After break, if I want to wash my hands, if I want to, if I go and play, they will give me to swim only an afternoon. They will rub me clean. They will lap me, sit down, chair, be doing it.
Who is the person? Who is that person? Who does that to you?
It's uncle.
Which uncle? Do you know the name of the uncle?
Yes.
What is his name?
Elias. Oyeke.
What class are you?
No,
What class are you? What class are you?
the one.
Anytime I want to go and drop her, I used to drop her early in the morning, sometimes after 7. So I will drop her for this uncle, the owner of the school. Sometimes we will sit down the side of the school, he will write Okada and go and open the door for us. And I will hand over her to him. I will say, thank you, sir, I'm going to take care of her. So I will left. after 3 days, which is the very day of this incident, on the 25th of February. So I went to school to pick her. This very day, they didn't bring her out to know that he know what he's doing. So I waited for this man. I didn't see him, so I said I should go. When I now get to school, this girl, the temperature was very hot, and he cannot even talk to me. Anytime I went to school to pick her, she's the last slow writer to finish, and it will be sweating. And this girl can write faster too. I will be wondering, why are you being this last? All the students have gone home. You will remain in class. Sometimes the teacher will tell her to close the note, which is the one that raped her. That he will write this, he will write it by herself for her, and when they get home, he will be copying it. When I now get home now with her uniform, I open her, she cannot even eat. Everywhere, from God is hearing me. Everywhere, nowhere remain inside her vagina, from up to down, nowhere remain. I asked this girl, I was asking her, he said, Mommy, it's school. I said, what happened in school to you? He said, he took me to this little boy in school. That afternoon, I went to the school. The school was locked. There was a teacher that worked with this school owner that raped my daughter, Elias Oyeke. Took me to also one chemist. I said, this is the chemist you are taking me to. He said, yes, this is the chemist. And he not dropped me in the chemist. When I got there, I met a woman. A woman is the owner of the chemist. I said, this is a woman, you cannot know what is wrong with this, my daughter. What make you to drop me here? Let's go to the hospital. He said, no, the woman opened my daughter. Everywhere was injury. The woman was just, a 4 years old cannot do this thing. He said, Mother, just give her pain relief. He gave me ampicillin and a one white tablet. It's a vitamin C. I said, this can heal this thing. He said, the woman said 18 naira. He gave the woman 100 naira. He said, the woman said I should go and be using hot water. I said, this kind of injury, I cannot use hot water. When we got home, after 3 days, I keep asking this guy, if you know that it's not this, because I know the injury is too much, tell me the truth. Because if I say who done it, we'll be looking at the truth. If you know that it's not that small boy that done it, tell me the truth. He said, Mommy, tell me you will not tell Daddy, that he will not beat me. I don't want anybody to touch me. I'm afraid. I could have told you, sis. And this school owner warned me. Anytime I tell my parents at home, he's going to wound me. He will not write in school. He said, what are you saying? Tell me. He said, anytime you drop me down early in the morning, because we used to hand over me to him, he will take me to sometimes inside class. He will pull my pants and put inside my school bag and be using me.
Another woman had taken to the police station to report a rape case of her 5-year-old daughter. But unfortunately, she didn't get justice. Instead, she got beaten up by the police officer.
She just went to the police station to report this case, and the policeman collected bribe and slapped this man front and back. This man just dey road dey cry like this, nobody to help her. Madam, talk. Imagine. Government should say something about this. The government should say something about this. So this is happening live at Abia State now. This man doesn't have anywhere to go. She doesn't have any money to.
No one knows the reason behind the sudden increase of rape cases in Nigeria. And I hope the government and the Nigerian police force put in more effort to eradicate the sudden increase in rape cases in Nigeria. This is where I'll be wrapping it up on today's episode of Gossip Field with Fola. Please make sure if you're returning back to school or if your kids are going back to school, make sure you provide them whatever they need to make them stay safe.